Welcome back to Chapter 7, Lecture number 44. So we tweaked the displacement and we removed the displacement on the path. So that's great. I switched from Eevee to cycles because we're going to start make sample renders. So if we now hit Z and render, we can see our first impression of the scene. So don't expect this beautiful scene with nature's because we just started with adding the terrain and the castle, but it gives us a sort of an impression of what we have so far. So let's take a look. I'm interested as well, of course, or maybe I already looked at it. So it's loading all the textures. So you have to have, oh, there we have it. So nice path right there, and the castle looks a little bit blurry. Let's zoom in a little bit. Control B. I want to see how the texture looks like. And I think these white areas are a little bit too much, in my opinion. So I have this texture. So let's blend these blend area. In the Eevee render engine, it looks a bit different, but right now it's sort of a pain. You just move these there and there. That should blend it. Should blend. No, more to the right. So it's just slightly visible. And let's leave that for now. And just a quick view on the roofing. Maybe less specularity. As we added this one. Maybe a bit more white. Okay, just find a nice sweet spot. Good, solid. So what I like to do is append grass from our chapter 6, because we created this nature assets folder. Let's disable the terrain subdivision. Let's click on nature. We have no assets right there. Go to File, Append. I go to chapter 6 and I have this nature assets, so I saved it as nature assets. Now I can link on it, left click on it, it's going to load everything. I want grass set underscore 01. There we have it. So where is it? It's stored in the there we have it. Let's select all of these grass, hit point. There we have them. These are just the how do you call this, bounds, so no grass. And we probably have to do some scaling because we have different scales right there. So we have to add a new vertex group, and we call this grass underscore small. So of course we will add grass medium and large. We start with grass small, and we want to have a weight paint and sort of a material preview, because we're going to paint over it, and I don't want to paint the terrain, the path. So I will pause the video for when all the textures are loaded and just pop out the normal, and we can smoothly paint over. Alright, textures are loaded. You can disable the building if you want to have more speed. So I think, yeah, right now it's just slowing down. Go for the full weight. Just remove the normals for now. Just having some artifact, and this is way better. So let's paint grass on the terrain with a larger radius. And this works slightly different because we also want thick grass in the background. So let's just try to do this as good as possible. Just a smaller amount, because I don't want to have grass on the path. Let's do this very gentle, otherwise you will have to tweak it over and over again. and we have to already remove some of this right there, and zoom in a little bit. There we have it. And on the other side, and we have to add millions of grass objects. Just how dense, we have to find out how that looks. Alright, and there we go. Oh well. Maybe remove this a little bit. Yes. And we continue. To add more weight. Just around it. And there as well. Almost finished. And grass in this area. Well, we don't want grass in the water, so we need to remove this from this angle. So go around this full border and remove it from the water. And we have to add grass on this area as well. So I will pause it and try to just remove it. Back in a second. And welcome back. So I added grass on the castle terrain, and I excluded the border where the water is facing. So maybe need to tweak it a bit more, but just curious how that works out. And so you can see there is a short blue line on each end, and yeah, looks good. All right. So let's go back to the object mode and grass small. That's good. So we have a vertex group, and what we're going to do now is adding a particle system just from scratch. I'm not going to append the particle system from chapter 5 because I just want to work on something new. Go to the solid view. Just going to add the grass without fine-tuning it. Just a very quick setup. Go for new particle. Call this grass small. And select that one. Grass small. You want hair. You want to go advanced. Let's start with the number of 10,000. Will be much more, but let's start right there. And we go to render, change path to collection. Instance collection will be grass set 01. Look at that, very small grass. We're going to scale these. Let's do that right now. So we have our grass right here. And scale is Control A, rotation and scale. Still very small. Well, let's try to scale it a bit more. Rotation and scale. Left click on the terrain. Click rotation. And you want to do this on global Y. And randomize it a little bit, 0.1. And 0.1 on randomize face. And very important, you want to go to vertex group, density, grass small. So now it will only be visible on the areas where we added the weight paint. So 10,000 will be not enough, definitely not. So go to the viewport display, an amount of, like say, 1%, and we want to start with 200,000. All right, so I think I can start making a preview render, and of course we need to enable our normal maps back into the normal and normal into the normal from the mud and the path. So, yeah, I won't change the dimension of rendering or the samples. Just want to see what happens if we render this with the grass. And if we've completed that, we will just take a look and start making changes. Oh, one thing I like to do is click on the sun lamp. Where is it? It's right there. So I need to adjust this a little bit because it's now facing very just a smooth line, so it's not facing fully on the grass. Okay, so I hit render and I'm back in a second and we do a quick review. Alright, we'll pause the video. And welcome back. So a quick preview. We can see the grass there, and on the castle side we probably need to do a lot of tweaking. I like to change the focal length of the camera so the castle is more in our picture, because right now there's a lot of space around the castle. And changing the variety of grass, because right now it's just, you can see the patches everywhere. That's not really a satisfying image. But overall, the positive thing, because we're making a beautiful scene, and it's going the right way where I like to see this. So we continue to work on this. In the next lecture, we're going to fine-tune the grass and yeah, change all the things I mentioned just now. All right, see you in the next lecture. Bye bye.